know what, we also have a viewer on phone line with us who might just want to get some financial planning tips from you for their portfolio. I'm talking about Gopiraj from Chennai. Hello, Mr. Gopiraj, and thank you so much for sending us your questions. So, you are doing an SIP of 10,000 rupees in HSBC Mid Cap Fund since last 5 years, and your returns have been moderate, and you want to switch to a better mid cap fund and continue SIP over there, and you want a specific recommendation for mid cap fund, and also you want to understand how can you compound, how can you track compounding returns in the fund, and you also want to invest some more money, fresh capital.
Yes, I would like to do that. So my main question was that, now the amount that is invested is about 6,25,000, but then the overall corpus has come to about 8.75 lakhs. So
Sure.
the entire amount, when I shift it to the new fund, then whatever compounding I can see in my screen right now, but then when I start it will again start from zero because my capital will be 8.75 lakhs.
All right. So let's get your questions answered. So Kaustubh, first, HSBC Mid Cap Fund, your view on this fund?
I think obviously there have been a few changes of this fund. When I think about, so this was for the longest time managed by Somenanath Lahiri, erstwhile. I mean, this was an L&T fund, which obviously was, with the merger of, HSBC taking over L&T's assets, it became a part of the HSBC portfolio, right? So Lahiri was managing this strategy for a very long time, and I think he exited the fund now in 2019. Vihang, who was the co-manager along with Lahiri, while Lahiri was the primary manager, Vihang then kind of took the main role of this, and more recently even Vihang has moved on from HSBC. So I think from that perspective, because obviously there have been a few manager changes, while they do have other seasoned managers like Venugopal Mangat, within the team, I would think maybe it would be prudent to exit this fund. And, there are obviously several other mid-cap funds that we really like. I think one is, HDFC Mid-Cap Opportunities, which Chirag manages, and he continues to manage, for a very, very long time. I think that's an excellent mid-cap fund to think about. Another one, on our radar is the SBI Mid-Cap Fund, which Sohini manages. I think, these are two strategies that we really like, in the mid-cap space. So that's kind of on, obviously on the question on that specific fund and the action that they should do. I think in terms of just the calculation of how you want to do it, obviously, you've invested, like you mentioned, about 6.5 lakhs to start with, which is now grown to 8.75. So that's, I would say, reasonable wealth creation for you. There are two ways of doing it, right? So when you start with the new fund, obviously it'll show you return on the new fund. If you're doing it through a platform, then there are, they will have tools to show you what your portfolio IRR has been over the entire time period. So you bought XYZ fund, you sold it, and then you bought something else. It'll show you that through that tool, or you can actually do it yourself. It's a very simple exercise in Excel. And if you haven't used the XIRR tool, where you just input your transactions by date and amount, both inflows and outflows, you can actually, and the current value, you can get what the IRR of your portfolio has been, even though you've made switches across funds. So I think that's the easiest way. If you want to be on top of what your portfolio is returning, that's a very quick way of doing that.
Right. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Gopiraj, for sending us your question, and hope that really sorts you out. And on that note, let's take a quick break, and post that, let's talk about SIP outflows, record outflows in December, and also we have more viewers connected on the phone line, and Kaustubh will do their live financial planning after this break.
In association with LIC, हर